Hey guys, I'm Oscar Mikey, and today I just want to have a chat. I want to do some commentary over some Battlefield 5 gameplay. I want to talk about Battlefield 6. And I just want to share my thoughts with you guys on what I want from Battlefield 6, what I'm hoping for, what we currently know about it, and just doing some general talk about the game now that it's about a year away. So based on information that's been leaked from DICE and EA and some other information I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's been basically confirmed that Battlefield 6 is going to be coming out next year, fall next year, which I see as a huge plus, especially considering the state that Battlefield 5 was in at launch, and really for its entire life cycle. They made improvements to it, they made it better, but still overall, if you put Battlefield 5 up against any of the other Battlefields, it doesn't really stack up in my opinion. They kind of missed the mark with Battlefield 5. So I'm really pumped that they have this extra time to work on Battlefield 6, and hopefully it's going to be a huge hit. So in terms of what I want to see from Battlefield 6, there are a few things. I mean, if I could tell DICE to do one thing, I would ask them to just look at other games that are out there, particularly games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 and Squad. With Modern Warfare 2019, Infinity Ward really brought back Modern Warfare in a big way. I was so impressed by that game, just their willingness to go back to the drawing board and rework like literally everything. Their attention to detail is crazy. The gunplay was completely reworked for the better, in my opinion. I love the gunplay in Modern Warfare 2019. It's so good. And it's still the super, like, highly stylized arcade action shooter style, Call of Duty gameplay. But they've just reached like the next level of refinement with it that makes it feel like something almost completely different and so much better than it was before. I want DICE to take a good, hard look at Modern Warfare 2019 and think about what they can do to their own, like, engine and assets, renders, animations, things like that. How can they apply the same logic to their game-making process and just level up their game like the Modern Warfare devs did? I would personally love to see them use a new engine or even just rebuild the Frostbite engine from the ground up. Because I remember a little while ago playing Battlefield 5, the community was asking for changes, and DICE just said flat out that they couldn't do them. They couldn't implement the changes because they were limited by their technology, and the engine just didn't allow them to make those kinds of changes. Which was super disappointing, because at that point in time, Modern Warfare had already come out, and some of those improvements the community was talking about were in Modern Warfare, like being able to, like double XP weekends, being able to change point values, XP values on the fly. That happens all the time in Call of Duty, but apparently the Battlefield guys haven't figured that out yet. I'm pretty sure another feature, soldier dragging, like being able to pick up your allies and drag them to cover and stuff like that, that was a feature that was talked about and they thought about maybe implementing into Battlefield 5. But in the end, they found that they couldn't do it because they were limited by the engine technology. But as far as I know, I think Squad has that feature. Squad was an early access game up until just recently. They just hit their 1.0 release, like literally a few weeks ago, which is super impressive. And they have that feature in there, and it's just really puzzling to me. I don't know this for sure, this is just speculation, but I think the Frostbite engine at its core is just kind of old and antiquated, and I would love to see them move to something more modern, something that's more optimized and allows them to make bigger, more dynamic changes to their future games. And speaking of Squad, I want them to take a look at that, take some inspiration from Squad, in that Squad is actually a game that was based off of a realism mod from Battlefield 2, I believe. Squad is an amazing, large-scale, open battlefield type game that's got a heavy focus on teamwork, communication, squads, hierarchy, and things like that. And that's something I would like to see in the next Battlefield. Maybe not taken to the same level as Squad, because Battlefield has always been this kind of authentic but accessible, large-scale multiplayer FPS. They've always leaned a little more heavily into the authenticity of that, military style, but they've never gone like full simulator with it. But I do want that, I do want to see a little bit of that milsim influence in Battlefield 6. Like more weight to the characters, like beefier sounding guns. The gunplay in Squad isn't exactly like big and boomy and action packed. It's more like crunchy and percussive. Guns feel really snappy when you fire them, and distance sounds are really good in that game. And honestly, the graphics are amazing too, particularly the particle effects. I remember I was playing Squad one time, and unfortunately I don't have footage of this. I would love to show you guys this, but I can't, unfortunately. I was with my squad and we were given orders to attack an enemy base of some kind, an enemy outpost. But we were ordered to wait in a tree line for an artillery barrage before we charged in. So we waited, and the artillery came in, and the shells slammed into the ground, making these huge explosions into the air. And the smoke and the particle effects are so amazing in that game. It just makes it feel so much grander and bigger and like way more immersive and more intense than honestly anything I've ever seen in a Battlefield game before. Squad is much more tight-knit. You have to rely on partnership and communication with your squad mates to overcome the enemy team. There's a way bigger importance on that stuff in Squad for sure. And I would definitely really like DICE to take a good long look at Squad and think about what can we take influence from here? How can we apply some of these things into our game? And also I'd like to see damage values be a little bit higher. I don't want have to shoot somebody 10 or 12 times for them to drop kind of deal. Kind of like we saw in Battlefield 5, that whole controversy with the damage values and stuff. They kept changing and reverting them all the time. I really didn't like that. It really turned me off the game. Now, what about a campaign mode? I'm not too sure about this. I don't know if they will do another War Stories style campaign. I don't think I would mind it too much if they did. And honestly, I think there is a pretty good chance that they might. But I'm not sure I would be sad if they left it out either. If they made enough improvements to the core game, to the engine, to the graphics, to bring it up to date, to make it as highly optimized and fluid and satisfying to play as Modern Warfare and Squad, I don't know, I would like to see a campaign with those changes added. But I also think it would just make the multiplayer gameplay a whole hell of a lot more fun. Much, much better than before. It's a tricky balance. They have to make it accessible to people. And honestly, I think that balancing act is what got them into trouble with Battlefield 5. So maybe they should just go one way or the other. Maybe they should just lean all the way into milsim/realism or into fast-paced arcadey gameplay and keep it more like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. So we've seen some cryptic stuff about Battlefield 6. We've seen some weird tweets from the devs, and Jack Frags did a really cryptic, kind of weird outro in one of his videos where he zoomed in on a ticking clock, and there was the tick 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 sound of a clock in the background. I'm sure he knows something. I'm pretty sure that he's close with the developers and they're partnered for some kind of reveal for the game later in the year, or maybe next year in the spring or something. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on his channel and what he reveals in the future. Jack, if by some miracle you happen to see this video, please give us something. Please convince DICE to let you show us something about this game. We're dying over here. We need to know about Battlefield 6. So that's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to chat about Battlefield 6 really quick and just kind of speculate, talk to you about what I want to see in the next game. I want them to maybe not remake Battlefield 3, but take everything that they've learned from the latest games, look at their competitors, look at Squad, look at Modern Warfare, look at what they're doing, and try to apply that modern technology and those design philosophies to their own game and bring Battlefield into modern times, so to speak. Bring the polish level up on it, maybe bring it back to a slightly more realism/milsim type focus. Rebuild the engine, make it smoother, more dynamic, and easier to update, easier to upkeep. Bring some new graphics in. They did show off some stuff at EA Play this year, which was kind of interesting. But bring those smoke effects and those explosions and stuff from Squad into Battlefield. I would love to see that. It's so beautiful. It's just crazy what Squad pulls off with the graphics and stuff. It's really nice. So that's it, guys. Just a quick one today. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you're having a good week. I'm Oscar Mikey, and until next time, game on, my friends.